You know that moment you're practically pleading with your child to just try the new food or join the new class or talk to the new kid? Well, today we're diving into that super frustrating comfort zone conundrum. We're going to figure out what's really going on when your kid just refuses to step outside of what they know.
It's a question that I'm sure so many of us have asked, probably with our heads in our hands. You see all this amazing potential in them, right? All these incredible opportunities out there in the world. But they just seem to want to stick with the same old thing. It's so frustrating. So what's really happening here?
Okay, so let's just start by getting this out of the way. This is an incredibly common challenge. It's that classic situation where a child just digs their heels in and wants what's familiar. So if this sounds like your house, I promise you are in very good company.
And this phrase just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? The world is this giant, amazing playground full of new things to explore, but it feels like your child is determined to stay on the one swing set they know. It's this constant pattern of reluctance that we really need to get to the bottom of.
So what's our first instinct as parents? Well, we tell them, just try it, you'll like it, I promise. But, as we all know, simply telling a kid to change their mind usually feels like talking to a brick wall.
And this is that loop, that cycle that drives so many of us crazy. We see the behavior, we try to correct it with our words, and nothing changes. We end up right back where we started. So it's pretty clear that just telling them isn't cutting it. The real question is, what else is there?
Okay, so this is where we have to totally shift our thinking. Instead of getting stuck on the behavior itself, the no, we've got to look deeper. And our source material here introduces us to a framework called Yancha that helps us do exactly that.
So what in the world is Yancha? Well, think of it less like a single parenting hack and more like a whole new toolkit. It's a set of personalized programs for kids all the way from age 4 up to 21. And the core idea here is to build those big life skills, self-awareness, resilience, not by forcing it, but by actually strengthening the bond you have with your child.
And one of the key tools in this kit is something called the iceberg model. Now, you've probably heard of this, but here's how it's so powerful in this situation. That no you keep hearing, that refusal to try something new, that's just the tiny little tip of the iceberg that you can see. The real reasons, the fears, the anxieties, the sensory issues, are all the massive hidden stuff below the water.
So, if the real why is hidden deep beneath the surface, how in the world do we get to it? This is where all that theory turns into a really practical step-by-step strategy. Let's take a look at the tools Yancha gives us to actually create some real change. The Yancha process is basically a 4-step cycle. It all starts with observe, and that means just watching, like a detective, without jumping in to judge or fix anything. Then comes understand. This is where you pull out that iceberg model and start digging for the why. You get curious. You ask questions about their feelings. The third step is engage. This is where you connect with your child using new tools, not just commands. And finally, you evolve. This is where this new way of doing things lets both of you grow right out of that old, stuck pattern. And this is such a brilliant example of that engage step in action. Instead of saying, you need to be more adventurous, a parent uses what they call Yancha stories. So they might talk about a character in a movie or a story in a book and point out how brave or curious that character was. See what that does? It makes the whole idea inspiring instead of feeling like a lecture. It's all about showing them, not just telling them.
Now, when you start to practice this 4-step cycle over and over, something really cool starts to happen. That whole dynamic begins to shift. That old power struggle over trying new things starts to just fade away. And in its place, you get this new sense of shared curiosity and real growth.
And this, right here, is the ultimate goal. You're helping guide your child from a mindset that's always just looking for comfort, always avoiding what's new, and moving them toward a mindset that actually gets excited about differences, that embraces curiosity, and it's strong enough to handle a challenge. It's a massive shift from avoidance to engagement. And this is why it all matters so much. We're not just trying to get them to join the soccer team here. This is bigger. This is about helping our kids build lives that are genuinely full of purpose and curiosity and a real deep connection to the world and the people around them. So let's just end with this question to think about. When we look beneath the surface and connect in this new way, we're not just fixing a small, annoying problem. We are unlocking a door. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What incredible potential is just sitting there, waiting for your child right on the other side of what's familiar?